Welcome to the end of September Fruit Report. I'm Katie Kammler, Field Specialist in Horticulture for University of Missouri Extension. Today we're going to discuss the importance of sanitation in fruit production. Diseases are a huge problem and they can cause premature leaf drop, fruit decay, dieback, decline, plant death if let go. So fungicides are an important tool in our arsenal to control plant diseases, but good sanitation can help reduce the need for chemical control. Sanitation can help reduce pathogen numbers. It eliminates those infective inoculums such as fungal spores, bacterial cells, virus particles, nematode eggs, all of those things that can cause problems in our fruit plantings. Some diseases can be worse during rainy or humid seasons. So those pathogen populations build up and they continue to increase as long as there is plant tissue available for them to infect. Here we see the fungal growth of cedar apple rust. This is the cedar side, and then it transfers to apples. Disinfecting tools is important as a part of sanitation process. So that is between each cut, particularly if you're looking at pruning out galls or cankers. And a commercial sanitizer could work, a 10% Lysol disinfectant, 10% bleach, or rubbing alcohol. All of those are fairly readily available sanitation methods. Just remember, if you use a 10% bleach solution, that will bleach your clothes, and it also is corrosive to your pruners. So make sure you dry those off and oil them thoroughly after use. You want to pull and discard trees, bushes, vines, anything that is heavily infected or has an untreatable disease, such as root rots, viruses, vascular wilts. We cannot cure those disease issues, so we want to make sure that those get removed from the orchard or vineyard. Fungicides are more effective when the pathogen levels are lower and the disease tissue is minimal. So this is where it's important to prune out any infected tissues and remove those debris before fungicide applications. An example here is a mummy of a peach that had brown rot. So you can see all of that fungal growth in those spores that can spread to new infections. Included in sanitation, you want to discard fallen leaves that might have that cedar apple rust, any type of prunings that might have cankers or other disease issues, those fruit mummies like mentioned in the previous slide, and any culled plants. So for example, here at the bottom, this is blueberry prunings that are getting moved to a brush pile that is going to be burned to remove that possible infectious material. Also, you want to look at removing weeds because they can serve as alternative hosts, as can volunteer plants. So particularly like in berry production, those volunteer brambles can cause issues in your commercial production. Equipment is also important to remember to sanitize, not just those hand tools, because that equipment is out in your orchard or berry patch and still needs those sanitation measures. And this is also the time of year, if you're finished up with your spraying equipment, to think about cleaning out those spray tanks and winterizing all of your equipment so it's ready to go for next year. And then finally, we're going to go into our September calendar of activities. In tree fruits, remember, still no fertilization after the 1st of September. Continued vole management, and this is a great time to do winter planting. Apple and pear harvest is in full swing, so remember pest and disease management. You have to apply according to that pre-harvest interval listed on the label. On small berries, still continuing the strawberries, maintain those new plantings that should have gone in at the beginning of September. Matted rows, continue to maintain those plantings. Brambles, you might still be getting some final harvest on some primocane berries. You can remove old floricanes as the harvest ends and continue that pest management because spotted winged Drosophila will still be around. And once again, for all of these, no fertilizer after September 1. We want to prepare those plants to go into winter. Blueberries, still maintaining plantings and especially irrigation. In my area of the state, we are dry right now, so we need to make sure we get that irrigation running. Elderberries, still maintaining plantings, and grapes maintaining plantings. You might still be in some harvest and continue that pest management practices. And once again, here are all our horticulture specialists around the state. So feel free to reach out to those of us that cover your area, and we're glad to help you out with any questions you may have. Thanks for joining me today for the fruit report.